At the party, as she danced with some other man, she caught my eye and declared, "I deserve to explore my choices too." I stayed silent, simply grabbed my car keys, walked out without a backward glance, and then blocked her contact. Around 3 in the morning, she started hammering on my front door. I refused to answer. While sobbing loudly, she said words that hit me like a shockwave. "I'm a 29-year-old software consultant living in Austin, Texas. I work from home for a fintech company, earning roughly $140,000 annually. It's solid pay, but I'm hardly rolling in luxury. I've always preferred staying focused, putting in the effort at my job, building savings, and steering clear of pointless chaos. My buddies tease me for being dull. I see it as making wise choices. I own a reliable vehicle, rent a comfortable place, and have managed to put away about $80,000. I'm low-key. No need for showiness." Her name was Lauren. We crossed paths at a friend's backyard cookout roughly 8 months back. She was 26, handling marketing for a health and wellness company, with this magnetic vibe that drew everyone toward her. Self-assured, stunning, the sort of woman who enters a space and instantly becomes the center of attention. Long, dark hair, always styled as though she had somewhere special to be, no matter the occasion. I'm not one to pursue aggressively, but she made it effortless. She came over to me, inquired about my career, chuckled at my awful humor, and before the evening ended, we swapped contacts. The early months felt great. Truly great. We'd hang out a couple times weekly, dinner outings, movies, or just cruising the roads with tunes playing while chatting about random topics and deeper stuff. She often shared her aspirations, seeing the globe, launching her personal venture one day, chasing a life packed with adventures. That drive appealed to me. She refused to settle for ordinary. Yet there was always this subtle thread, this sense that she craved nonstop approval. Posting on Instagram constantly, obsessing over like counts, mentioning acquaintances who seemed to have more going for them. I brushed it aside. Everyone carries their flaws, I reasoned. Perfection doesn't exist. Around the 4-month point, the dynamic began to shift. She dropped mentions of other men offhandedly. This coworker treated me to coffee earlier. My former partner messaged, though I ignored it. Initially, I viewed it as honesty. Clear communication, sure. But gradually it seemed like she was probing my reactions, gauging jealousy. I refused to engage. Jealousy games aren't my style, and I'd learned from past experiences to avoid them. Still, those remarks increased. She began drawing comparisons. Jake surprised his girlfriend with a Napa getaway. Connor's discussing rings already. Brandon earned a promotion and splurged on a BMW. I'd brush it off outwardly, but inwardly it wore me down. My income is decent, yet I'm not about to squander it just to keep up appearances for someone fixated on upgrades. I'm building toward owning a home, securing stability, not bankrolling someone's curated online persona. One evening in early October, we ate at her favorite Italian spot. She photographed her dish for a solid 20 minutes before touching it. Then she glanced over and remarked, "Sometimes I feel like things are dragging between us." "What do you mean?" I replied, "Like 6 months in and it's still casual dating. Nothing's really progressed. What would you like to see progress?" She gave a vague shrug. "Not sure. It just seems stagnant." I was at a loss for words. I believed we were solid, even enjoyable. Clearly, her view differed. Update 1. A couple weeks back, Lauren asked me to join her colleague's birthday celebration at a rooftop lounge in the city center. I wasn't excited. Packed venues, thumping noise, and tipsy crowds aren't my scene. Still, I said yes after her persistent requests. "It'll be enjoyable," she insisted. "You should socialize more instead of always working or staying in." I arrived near 8 p.m. on Saturday. The spot was overflowing. Bass-heavy music, folks swaying, classic party atmosphere. Twinkling lights strung overhead, mixologists crafting drinks, clusters of people laughing excessively. Lauren had arrived earlier with her team. She introduced me to a handful, Sarah from design, Tim in accounts. They appeared pleasant, but Lauren seemed elsewhere, her gaze wandering the space. Roughly an hour later, she headed for a refill. I lingered by the edge, checking my phone and admiring the skyline. When I glanced up again, she was chatting with a man by the bar. Tall, sharp outfit, resembling a model from an advertisement. Neatly styled dark hair. Expensive timepiece. Poised stance. They shared laughs. Excessively. At first, I downplayed it. She's outgoing. It's her nature. She chats with everybody. But then they began dancing together. Out on the floor, his palms on her hips, hers looped around his shoulders. I observed for a bit, debating if I was reading too much into it. Perhaps old acquaintances. Perhaps I was paranoid. Our eyes met, and I expected her to return. Instead, she grinned. No, smirked, and continued moving, almost as if she intended for me to witness it. I approached calmly. No drama. Tapped her arm. Hey, mind if we chat quickly? She spun around, still smiling. What's going on? You okay? She'd been there quite a while. She rolled her eyes. Seriously, chill. It's only dancing. The man beside her shifted awkwardly, clearly wanting out. He muttered about needing another round and slipped away. I'm not picking a fight, I said. Just seeing how you're doing. She actually laughed. You know what? I get to keep my choices open too. I stared directly at her. The volume was high, but her words cut through clearly. Nearby dancers paid no mind. What did you just say? You heard. I'm free to have options. You don't control me. The guy had vanished among the crowd. A couple onlookers glanced over. My chest constricted, jaw tightened, but I kept composed. No scenes. No feeding her drama. I gave a slow nod. Got it. Fine. I headed directly out, retrieved my keys from the valet, and left for home. The drive was filled with constant phone vibrations. Message after message. At a stoplight, I peeked. Wait. Please come back. That came out wrong. You're blowing this up. I ignored the rest. Home. I blocked her everywhere. Phone, Instagram, Snapchat. Over. Update 2. I assumed that closed the chapter. She'd bounce back, maybe regret it briefly, then shift to someone else. She had choices, after all, she'd stated it plainly. But at 3:17 a.m., pounding shook my door. Forceful. Intense. Enough to rouse the whole building in my quiet second-floor unit. I checked the peephole with my phone in hand. Lauren stood there. Makeup streaked, eyes puffy and bloodshot, hair wild. She wept intensely. Open up, please. I have to speak with you. I retreated. No chance. I wouldn't invite her in for some late-night emotional outburst after her stunt. Absolutely not. I know you're home. Please. Let me explain. I settled on the couch, arms folded, letting her tire out. She persisted with knocks and calls. My name repeated endlessly. I'm sorry. Just open, please. A neighbor's door creaked open somewhere, then shut fast. No one wanted involvement. After 10 minutes or so, the noise ceased. I figured she'd given up. Then her voice returned. Softer. Shattered. I'm pregnant. I went still. I'm pregnant, and the baby is yours. My pulse surged. I moved to the door, ear pressed close. Her crying continued outside. Lauren, head home. We're not handling this now. I'm serious, she choked out. Test was positive yesterday. I didn't know how to break it to you. That's why I was off at the party. I was terrified. Didn't know what to do. I kept the door shut. Doubt lingered. This screamed desperation tactic to reel me in. But I couldn't dismiss it completely. What if it was genuine? If that's real, we'll discuss it tomorrow. Go rest. Please open. I can't be by myself tonight. Lauren, the door stays closed. Leave. We'll talk when you're clear-headed, not at this hour. Quiet followed, then retreating steps. Minutes later, her engine started and faded. I dropped back onto the couch, staring blankly. Pregnant, she'd claimed. My thoughts raced. Life or control? Or truth? If true, what next? Sleep evaded me completely. I just sat, weighing every possibility. Update 3. Next morning near 9, I unblocked her. She'd flooded my phone with 15+ messages from 3:30 to 7 a.m. apologies mostly, pleased to meet. One mentioning a pregnancy test pic sent pre-block. I hadn't received any image. Checked old threads. Empty. Likely blocked before it delivered, or fabricated. I messaged, we should talk. Coffee. Noon. Public spot. She responded instantly. Thank you. I'll come. I'm truly sorry. We met at a downtown Starbucks. Safe. Populated. She appeared drained entering. Bare face, baggy sweats, huge hoodie, bunched up hair. Exhausted eyes. She sat opposite, clutching tea, avoiding eye contact. I'm so sorry, she began shakily. About the party, everything. I was intoxicated and foolish, said awful things. I was frightened, didn't know how to cope, and... Are you really pregnant? She nodded, hands unsteady as she pulled her phone. Showed a test photo. 2 distinct lines. I stared. Guts sank. Reality hit hard. When, Friday morning, 2 days back, and you waited until after the party to mention? I was afraid of your reaction. Thought acting normal might help me find the words. But alcohol messed it up. By grinding on some guy and announcing your options? Her expression collapsed. Tears flowed. I know. It was terrible. I freaked out. Pushed you to make leaving easier if you walked. Thought you'd bolt once you learned. I leaned away, hands over my face. Chaos. My world felt shattered. I want another test. Right now? With me watching. She looked pained but agreed. Fine. We can head to my place. I have extras. We drove separately. My grip trembled the whole trip. Part hoped for a lie. Part dreaded the fallout if false. She tested again. I stood outside the bathroom, ears straining. 3 minutes stretched endlessly. She emerged, stick in hand. 2 lines again. I collapsed onto her sofa, head buried. Undeniable now. What are your plans? I managed. She sat nearby, gap between us. I'm undecided still. But you needed to hear it. This involves us both. If you choose to keep it, I'll support fully. Won't vanish on a child. But us as a couple? That's finished. Co-parenting only. She nodded through tears. I get it. I don't expect forgiveness. Just wanted to apologize. Silence lingered heavily. Then she shifted, stared at her lap, and spoke words that chilled me. The man from the party. We hooked up. 3 weeks earlier. I turned sharply, feeling gut-punched. Excuse me. I was wasted. After another work event, we went to his. One-time mistake. Instant regret. So paternity is uncertain. She broke down completely. I believe it's yours. Timing fits us better. But I can't swear. I rose, snatched keys, headed for the exit. Couldn't stay. Couldn't face her. Wait. Please. Arrange a paternity test post-birth. No contact until results. I walked out. Drove home mute. No radio. No inner monologue. Pure numbness. Final update. 2 months passed. Lauren messaged weekly, doctor visits, how she felt, diet notes, sonogram shares. I'd reply minimally. Okay. Good. Appreciate the info. Not harsh, but no warmth either. I couldn't fake normalcy while uncertainty ate at me daily. I informed my parents. Tough conversation. Mom teared up. Dad stayed quiet, then questioned certainty about fatherhood. I admitted doubt. He simply nodded. Nothing more. Shared with closest friends, Kevin and Aaron. They offered support, but struggled for words. Understandable. 3 weeks ago, Lauren phoned. Needed an in-person talk. Her tone sounded steadier. Decided. We returned to the same Starbucks. She appeared improved. Healthier glow. Noticeable bump beneath her top. Clearly caring for herself. I did early DNA testing, she said straight away. Blood-based, non-invasive. Possible now. I stayed quiet. Listened. It's not yours. Relief crashed over me, almost making me chuckle. I held back. Just nodded, breathing deeply. First real breath in months. It's his. The party guy. Brandon. Told him last week. He's committing. We're sorting it out. He wants involvement. Good, I replied. Wishing you both the best. She reached to touch my hand. I'm deeply sorry. For all of it. You never deserved that treatment. You treated me well, and I destroyed it. I withdrew my hand softly. Yeah, I didn't. She seemed to want more words, but held back. Just nodded, rose, and departed. I remained seated, gazing at passers-by. Couples linked arms. Families with children. Ordinary lives continuing while mine had spun wildly and settled again in 2 short months. No further contact with Lauren. A mutual acquaintance mentioned she and Brandon are building something. Moving in. Getting ready for the arrival. I removed that friend from my feeds too. No need for reports. For me, things are good. Actually strong. Returned to routine. Job, workouts, occasional hangs with real friends who value respect. Erased her pictures. Unfollowed her circle. Even changed my usual coffee spot. Started therapy. It assisted greatly. We unpacked it all. She said my response was healthier than many. Not sure I agree, but it helped. Occasionally I recall her party line. I deserve options too. True enough. And I deserve to exit. I deserved self-protection. I deserved not to be anyone's second choice. 0 regrets. Edit 1. A few asked if I'd have stayed had the child been mine. Hard to say definitively. Likely, but not romantically with her. I'd have co-parented responsibly. Attended everything. Supported milestones. But the relationship? Irreparable. Some damage is permanent. Edit 2. One person messaged claiming I was wrong not opening the door that night. Perhaps. But I wouldn't allow manipulation at 3 a.m. after her actions. I set a boundary and held it. Boundaries are valid. Edit 3. Yes, I'm seeing people again. Nothing committed. Moving cautiously. Watching for warning signs more closely. When someone reveals their character, trust it immediately.